In 2010, Angela and I made a pretty bold decision for us. We had not traveled much as a family, but we took the kids out of school and we decided to come to Thailand for 1 month in January of 2010. It was the most exotic thing our family had ever done. Keep in mind, this is before you could get Wi-Fi anywhere, 5G or iPhones. We had to go to internet cafes just to log in and tell the family back home we were okay. So we had this guidebook, Lonely Planet, and in one of the small brief passages in this book, it talked about a neighborhood where artisans had been making alms bowls for monks for centuries. And so we went there and it was already such a beautiful process, but already very clearly dying. It was a dying art. And today we want to go back some 15 years later to that community and see, are those artists still there? Is the art still alive? Or has it been lost to COVID and to the passage of time? So the city of Bangkok offers so many different ways to get around this megapolis. You can go by train, you can go by motorbike, you can go by bus, you can go by taxi or tuk-tuk, but we're today at Thong Lor Pier because we actually found out that this boat goes right past the Golden Mount, which is right next to this community where the artisans are still, hopefully, making these alms bowls.
Every morning at sunrise, Buddhist monks walk barefoot through the streets of Thailand, each carrying their own alms bowl. Devout locals greet the monks as they walk slowly and silently past their homes and businesses. The locals place rice, crackers, fruit, and other small bits of food into the bowls, which becomes the monks' only meal for the day. For monks, this is an act of humility, having to rely on the generosity of their community for basic sustenance. For the lay people, the act of unconditional giving is a way to earn spiritual merit through personal generosity. When Ayutthaya, the original capital of Thailand, was ransacked by the Burmese in 1767, the retreating refugees established Bangkok as their new home. Bon Bat, which roughly translates to Alms Bowl Village, is a maze-like network of alleyways where artisans handcrafted alms bowls for monks, until factory automation in the 1970s all but wiped out this centuries-old practice. Would the bowl makers still be there? Did they survive the last 15 years of relentless urban development, social media mayhem, and a global pandemic? We were on our way to find out. Aside from having to hustle to avoid missing our connecting ferry, this is definitely the coolest, cheapest, and perhaps even the fastest way to traverse Bangkok. The Canal less traveled, if you will.
So just for a few baht, less than 50 cents, you can get on a boat and crisscross your way across this amazing city the way that locals do. You get off the tourist path and you're going to see a side of Bangkok that many people never get to experience. You'll notice that a lot of the attendants on the boat wear helmets, and that's the reason right here. These bridges are very low, and if they're not paying attention, they'll get their head taken clean off.
We disembarked at Panpha Lillard Pier in a part of Old Bangkok known as Phra Nakhon. We were getting close now. I remember the sound of wind chimes ricocheting through these narrow streets. I remember sweating our way up the temple's winding stairs and doing my damnedest to keep the kids from staging an all-out heat stroke mutiny. It was hot. It's always hot here. Walking through Bangkok is like being in a competition to see who can melt faster, you or the asphalt. It will be interesting to see how well our sweat-soaked memories stack up against reality.
We're gonna duck in here to the Golden Mount. This is one of the first memories we have of our visit here with the kids in 2010. This is an incredibly beautiful temple, and it's been here since the 1700s when Ayutthaya was actually still the capital of Thailand. That moved here to Bangkok, and ever since then, this temple has been instrumental in this city's cultural history.
Also known as Wat Saket, the saga of the Golden Mount begins in the early 1800s when Thailand was ruled by King Rama III. But his dream of constructing a towering temple atop a man-made hill collapsed, quite literally, due to marshy soil conditions. King Rama V eventually completed that original vision, an iconic golden shrine that not only serves as a repository for sacred Buddhist relics, but also symbolizes the resilience and enduring faith of the Thai people. Today, the Golden Mount attracts pilgrims and tourists alike, not only to lay their eyes on those sacred artifacts, but also to find inner peace as you ascend your way through lush gardens and religious imagery. When Buddhists visit such sacred sites, they can earn spiritual merit in a number of ways. Striking gongs and ringing bells reverberate good karma out into the community and into the cosmos. Burning incense sticks represents the impermanence of life, and the smoke carries our prayers up into the heavens. Climbing stairs symbolizes the uphill journey that we must all endure on our own path toward enlightenment. This is precisely where we stood with our children all those years ago. A moment of nostalgic tranquility high above a never-ending sea of urban sprawl.
Unfortunately, neither of us know how to speak Thai, so we invited our local friend Jayda, who is a Thai resident, to come down here and to help us translate when we get to the village.
We met Jayda at the outer edge of Bon Bat, a neighborhood that dates all the way back to 1782. The artisans who have called this bewildering maze of narrow alleyways home serve as the last custodians of an endangered craft. The last of the bowl makers.
So most of them, they moved here after Ayutthaya period ended. And then most of the families here, about 4 to 5 households, they're making these boxes. So these palm bowls that you use for the offering when the monks, like you give offerings to the monks will hold them. You will put your offerings inside these bowls.
Look at all these. And I hear hammering.
Yes.
That's a good sign. That's a good sign. It's like the heartbeat of the community. Were you born in this neighborhood? Have you lived your whole life here?
ลุงติดโตที่นี่ป่ะคะ
ครับผม
โตที่นี่เราก็ใช้ชีวิตที่นี่มา
ครับ
ตั้งแต่เกิดจน
ครับ
Yeah, so we just live here.
And so, how many families are currently doing this art?
มันเป็นแผนกฮะนี่แหล่งใหญ่อยู่ตรงนี้ทำนี้แล้วส่งกระจายไปข้างในกระจายเข้าไปข้างในนี่แหล่งใหญ่ครับนี่ทำใหญ่เลยแล้วก็ส่งไปเป็นแผนกครับผม 3-4 บ้าน
About four houses.
Wow.
In there, but this is the headquarters and they distribute.
Like 15 years ago when I first came here, not many people seem to know about it. Are more people learning about this area? Are more tourists coming?
ก็มีนะครับมีทุกวันอ่ะมีทุกวันครับมีทุกวันครับ
เข้ามาเดินชม
เข้ามาเดินดูเดินหาซื้อของไปที่ระลึกอะไรพวกนี้มาซื้อของเป็นที่ระลึก
He said, every day there's people coming in to buy the items and to just explore every day.
ครับ
ขอบคุณมากเลยนะคะ
ครับ
We wish you much luck. I remember that there was this cool artwork on the walls, and it showed kind of how everything worked. So it'd be cool to kind of find that again.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
And this is Papu, which is the first person to arrive here, and then he started this whole community, and so people built this to pay respect to him, to honor him, and for creating this village.
So this was started though 200 years ago.
Yeah.
And so,
So this has been here for like over almost 200 years.
wow.
Yeah.
And people still make daily offerings, I can see.
The process of making an alms bowl by hand involves many intricate and time-refined steps, with each community member becoming a specialist in their own individual step. Pieces of steel are first cut into specific shapes. The pieces are then meticulously joined together and shaped through hours of hammering and welding. Once the bowl's basic shape is formed, the uneven surfaces are then hard polished with a file to shiny near perfection. The bowl is then waterproofed with a unique mixture of copper fillings and herbal water. The final steps involve even more smoothing and sometimes applying a black lacquer finish, although bowls meant for sale often retain their hammered texture to highlight the artisanal quality. In all, it takes about 5 days to complete each alms bowl. But more importantly, it takes a community. Each bowl is as unique as the locals who touch it at every step along the way. Although my 15-year-old memories are blurry at best, I distinctly remember we purchased our alms bowls from a shirtless man with wild gray hair. We pushed further into the maze to see if we could find him.
Hello, Spotty Cop. Hello, hello. I think he's the guy with the crazy hair. I remember you. Hello, hello, hello. I remember you. Hi. That's that? Yes. Oh, step one?
Step 1.
Yes. Oh, it starts like this and then, wow.
In the shadow of the world's relentless march toward so-called progress, the Bon Bot community stands as a bastion of Thai tradition, where the clang of hammer on steel somehow cuts through all the noise of modern life. Here, amidst the urban sprawl, the artisans of Bon Bot, with hands and faces weathered by time and toil, craft not just alms bowls, but vessels of heritage. Each bowl, a story. Each dent, a testament to the human touch that no factory can replicate. As the megacity of Bangkok evolves, Bon Bot remains a labyrinth of history and craft, its rhythmic hammering a heartbeat that sustains an ancient art. This neighborhood pulses with the lifeblood of Thailand's ancient past, reminding us that amidst all the change, the heart of tradition still beats strong, crafted by the hands and collective memory of a community determined to keep itself alive.